now. I told people in the end, you will hear me. Y'all, all roads lead back to Sino. All roads lead back to me. All that capping y'all been doing, all of that nonsense, Diddy is guilty, they got Diddy dead to rights. Oh, Diddy gone. Oh, Diddy this, Diddy that. Oh, no. They were fearing this whole case is getting removed because they didn't prove a goddamn thing. They didn't prove nothing. And because they didn't prove nothing, now they in the grease. Woo! They in the grease. I don't care. Go on and block it. I don't care. Go on and do what you do. You know how they like to move. Been sabotaging me over this case. Oh yeah. Get them likes up. Coming through the door. So Sean Diddy Combs. Oh, I'm not making this up. There's a letter sent. Dear Judge, the government respectfully writes regarding and requesting edits to the court's proposed jury instruction. The government has suggested ways to streamline these instructions, to remove search instructions, right? The government's comments in the bubbles, the government hopes not only to serve purpose of streamlining the instructions, but will avoid any confusion as to the operative agreement for count 1. Sex trafficking and forced labor instructions. They want to know what these instructions are because it's very murky here. So now, the prosecutors have dropped kidnapping, arson, and aiding sex trafficking charges in the Diddy case. They're now pushing for clearer jury instructions on the main sex trafficking and forced labor counts, saying that it is complex. Now they're complex. Yep, the government has serious concerns that the jury may misunderstand the applicable law for both charges, which are extremely complex legal concepts, and which jurors may have preconceived mistaken notions. No, don't try to come up there with that BS. You got no case. And because you got no case, now you over here trying to save face. Because now it look like Diddy finna walk. He finna moonwalk. And when Diddy win that case, that song is coming back on, baby. Take this money. Make this money. Ain't no way you can take this from me. Shake it, honey. Take it, honey. Hey, now let's get it. Just like I said, these bums got no proof. None. And now they crying because Diddy finna walk. Oh, he walking. They trying to find him guilty of one little bitty anything they can find. And they can't. And that pisses them off. So now you got to drop the charges. You got to drop kidnapping, arson. The whole Kid Cudi testimony is out. Hey, bud. That is correct. The whole entire Kid Cudi thing is out. So it was a complete waste of your time. As I told you, none of that stuff meant anything. You put a man on the witness stand when none of the evidence in the arson leads to Diddy. All of it was hearsay. I said it from the beginning. You can go back and watch any video I said all of this is hearsay. None of they got a fingerprint on there. And it came, the DNA on the glass or whatever came back female. And Kid Cudi didn't want to investigate. So now, how are you on the stand talking about this case and this car, and when the criminal investigation was going on, you didn't give a damn? Now you just made yourself look like a major fool for no reason. That's what you did. For no reason. Made yourself look like a big fool. Oh yeah, feel good. Yep, I do. Now it's gonna get even more interesting. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Just relax. We gonna get there. The reason why is because they believe the jury don't understand the case. This is what their whole excuse is. This is so complex, and they might not understand the law. Can we get like a definition? Because it's complex. It's not complex. They know the jury finding all y'all nonsense. The jury is finding all of that nonsense rhetoric. So they're trying to make it easier for the jury, like, we're going to drop some charges. So you went the whole trial, and once you get to the time when you rest, now you want to drop some charges. After you done put this person on the stand, you done put all these lying-ass witnesses on the stand, coming in there spitting rhetoric, trying to get their little 5 seconds of fame. Kid Cudi just made himself look more like a joke. She played me. Looking like an idiot. Yeah, they dropped the kidnapping charge. They dropped the arson charge. I just read the judge's letter that they sent to the judge. So this is real. They haven't dropped all the charges, but aiding sex trafficking is out. So basically every charge that they had connected to Kid Cudi is out. All that arson, no kidnapping, all of that garbage they made up just to inflate their little fake ass RICO, because they don't have a RICO at all. They still trying to get some information about forced labor. How is it forced labor? Having someone work overtime isn't forced labor. These are the stupidest prosecutors. Y'all mad at me and y'all coming after my channel for what? I mean, this is, every lawyer could tell you, and I'm not even a lawyer. Every legal lawyer who has been breaking down the cases said, I don't know how you get to a conviction. Because they don't have a dog in the fight. They're not here making money off of the Diddy case. They have other cases. And the law and crime guy was a shit lawyer. At best. The guys that they be having on the show, those are entertainment lawyers. Most of them have never done RICO. My lawyer has. And he's doing a couple of RICO cases now. Well, he knows he has to find the profit. One, there's no profit in this whatsoever. So he's saying, okay, well, there's no profit. How is there a criminal enterprise? There isn't one. Where do you see a criminal enterprise? I don't see it. Hit the like button up and definitely go to my Patreon today. On the Casino for Life Patreon. Sign up for it. Strip clubs are under attack. And you finna find out what's going on now because of that. We answered a lot of things that went down. It's been none but love. Now, there's a lot of gray area here. The government is scared, as they put in the letter, they scared the jury don't understand. They don't understand the law, and it might be a little confusing for them as they are struggling to see, which one is, all the law. So can we please have some clearer instructions so we can proceed for the trafficking and the forced labor? So those are the charges they're finna try to really focus on. Trafficking and forced labor. One, there is no forced labor. Jane never worked for Diddy. Good luck telling someone who's in a relationship, who's paying for her house when he was making the payments for her house before she started doing freak off. He was already paying for her house. So you can't prove that the payments are for freak off when her house was already being paid for before she ever even did a freak off. Good luck with that one. They haven't even gotten to closing arguments yet. So while they deliberating, they're going to make it easier for them by dropping some charges on Diddy. Didn't I tell you they was going to do that? Try to cook up a deal saying, hey, if you just say you're guilty on this, with the little drugs, we're going to have time served. And then everybody go home and you got to do just probation for 1 year or 2 years probation. And then we can just close this case. Nah. What she don't want is for Diddy to be found not guilty. Because if Diddy's found not guilty on all counts, Diddy will sue the city. Do you know how massive that lawsuit would be against the city of New York? If Diddy is found not guilty, which he is not guilty, based on the non-evidence that has been provided at this trial, thanks to the federal government of New York. I feel good. I feel real good about it. Yep, I do. What they say, but how you feel about it. How I feel about it, son? I feel real good about it, son. So if the Kid Cudi case was a lie, then that's going to bring us to the Rita situation. So what does that look like to the jury? If the prosecution is dropping charges after the closing statement, after statement's closed, you decide, hey, you know what would be a good idea? Think about dropping some charges. Yeah, that seemed about right. Let me go ahead and drop some charges. Oh, that makes a lot of sense to me. Let's go on and drop these charges. Drop them like they hot. So now, hit the like button. If I'm a juror and I see the prosecution is dropping charges, why the hell would I sit up there and believe anything you got to say? Oh, I'm serious. Because see, that's where the fun's at. That's where all the fun is. Diddy needs to be jailed for life, you hear me? Life for that weirdo. Because he has weird sexual behavior, because he's a cuckold, he needs to be in jail for life. Well, then lock up Adam 22. I saw the government letter, and it's nothing but another crybaby letter from them. They've been crying and whining and playing the white girl card all goddamn trial. Well, the jury's gonna misunderstand. I don't, they're not gonna know. I don't think they're gonna understand, the trafficking laws and things like that. And I'm afraid that they're gonna misunderstand. Can you please send us some clarifications, please? Please. See, all your white girl tears is drying up. You done played your cards way too much with this judge. This case was supposed to be thrown out a long time ago. The sake of entertainment, they kept this thing going. And they want to wrap this up before the 4th of July. And I'm quite sure the jury want to be out of here before the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, see, they know that's the only way they can get a conviction. Having that tape as evidence was the only thing they had. Cassie was the only thing they had. And now her case turned out to be a whole pile of dogs. Now they all stuck in it. And they stuck now. You dropping charges, hoping you can get one of them to stick. But they told us they already proven it. Remember? They already proved that already. Yeah, because he flew them over there. He paid them money. That's prostitution. They're not prostitutes. How many times did I got to tell y'all? And then the lawyer say that to the judge? They're entertainers, escorts. It's a business. And Christina Coram cannot be a co-conspirator. If she is, why isn't she on trial? Wouldn't she be with Diddy? Why didn't you arrest her? That didn't hit any of you guys? That didn't make you scratch your head and say, that don't make no goddamn sense. It's a RICO case. She's his assistant. Why the hell wouldn't you grab her? She's not a witness for you? Then Why ain't she on the other side? Something ain't smell right. But they kept calling her a co-conspirator. You like how they did that? Call someone a co-conspirator, but they don't arrest them. She was supposed to be Giselle Maxwell, right? And he's Jeffrey Epstein. Knowing his case is nothing like those two. But that's how they painted it, right? All of this to embarrass them. They was lying the whole time. Absolute lying. Now, key factors that I want people to kind of focus on. Key element. If you're going to do a RICO case, and you're going to rope everybody up, you went and got this guy, that guy, his main assistant, who her name was mentioned throughout this entire trial. Christina Combs, KK, Christina Combs. How many times did you hear that name mentioned? Yet, you don't have her as a witness. And again, you didn't charge her in this so-called RICO criminal empire. But you called her a co-conspirator. So if she's a co-conspirator, where's she at? Where's she been? You lost Gina, the witness. Then you threw two more lying people on the stand to hurt your case. Now, here's the thing about Christina Combs. Christina Combs came in 2016. That's the only time she was mentioned in any of this was in like March of 2016. So that doesn't fit your argument. There's no case here. So there's no need to call a witness. It really isn't. They've done all the work. The prosecution has done a job of ruining their own case. Everybody they put on stand made it look more and more clear to the whole world. Because going into this, everybody thought Diddy was guilty as dead to rights, guilty. As this trial went on, they like, I don't know. Defense tore her up. She lied. She ain't telling the truth. It first went off when she said she ain't sucked no D until she met Diddy. He introduced me to blowjob. I didn't even know what it was. Everybody like, oh, that's some bull. We knew that. We ain't need to know a law case. We ain't we ain't need to know the law, the procedures. We just know BS when we hear it. I said every black man in the world who heard that line right there knew she was lying. And from that point on, she has opened up the floodgates. And now, oh, I knew that's what they would do. And they still gonna play let's make a deal. Because they know they have no case. How are you gonna get trafficking? Who was trafficked? They're escorts. It's a business for personal sex between consenting adults. These are consenting adults who later on regret the sex. But they benefited all in the process. These were all willing participants. None of the sex workers that they put up there actually called themselves prostitutes. They called themselves escorts or entertainers. They didn't even go by the word sex worker. So there is no trafficking. So are you saying you can't take a girl that you're dating past state lines? Then I told you, everybody's in traffic. You take your girl to the Maldives. My boy right now, it's his birthday. He took his girl to Jamaica. Uh-oh, he trafficking. Taking her across international lines. You just trafficking, dog. I'm sorry. You see? No, that's called the law. Because he's not trafficking. When people traffic people, they're doing it for what, people? Normally, there is a profit, right? When Baca case was going down, why was Baca being charged with that? Because of profit. He beat a woman up. He was charged with beating a woman up and taking her money. Forced her into a life of sex work. Here, we don't have that case. What we have is yet another nothing burger with cheese presented to you by the government of New York. Oh, I ain't never going to New York. Yeah, I know y'all waiting on me. I am not going. I know what y'all up to. You ain't gonna get me. Sabotaging my YouTube page. All of it. All because you put these inept women to try this case. when all y'all wanted to do was embarrass Sean Combs, but you made him a martyr. So instead of feeling sad for Cassie, we're actually like, hey, wait a minute. This is some crazy, what they call ish. Oh, everybody gonna be running with this now when they see the government is dropping charges. When they dropping charges, they trying to strike a deal. My whole breakdown I did yesterday pissed off the whole judge, everybody. When you start saying who's better than who, no, Diddy ain't guilty of a RICO act. Absolutely. I'm tired of the whole case altogether because the whole case is a joke. I mean, if you look at it and the way it's broke down in the last day of testimony, the government, I mean, the defense just went all into the judge. Like, we want this thing gone. Like, there's nothing here. We sat here for a whole month. There isn't a lick of evidence to convict this man. Everybody's, oh, the defense don't know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. Closing arguments is set for Thursday. They want this thing finished by Friday. It's a complicated case because it's a gray area and things are murky because you're not going to know how to prosecute this thing. And the reason why you're not going to know how to prosecute it is because of the simple fact all of these people arguing, disagreeing on counts, count 1, count 2, count 3. Is this trafficking? Is it not? They were in a relationship, so that if they're dating and this is a relationship, That's not there. Where's forced labor? Overtime, working overtime is not forced labor. So if you don't know forced labor laws, then that's what the government's like. Can you give us the laws? It's like, you're a lawyer and don't know the concept of these laws in New York? The prosecution beat themselves. They did everything wrong. One, they went after RICO, which is part of the Mann Act. That's a key component when both sides try to put the closing arguments together. And these closing arguments are going to make and break the case, where the prosecutors have to paint this picture of Diddy as a racketeering person and wanted to force all of these people into freak-offs. And they're going to have a hard time doing that with the text that they saw. I think that Comey did a terrible job. Everybody's Tenny is, my goodness, she did an incredible job. Bryant Steele, amazing job. The defense, this is where $10 million in legal fees, you know, all of these things here is worth it. Why does Diddy have 10 lawyers? Because shoot, you see what he was up against? Diddy got a superior legal team together. And they exposed this government. They exposed these witnesses. And they're done. Whenever you're suppressing evidence from the jury, you've already lost your case. You're sending in, you're showing people and making a chart that has edited messages and want the government to read the charts. It's deception. How are you going to send a message and tell them to read it, and then you cut out the emojis? Because you know the emojis tell a whole different story. Right. What did he do sexually in his bedroom is not a RICO case. And that's what you're running into. He isn't guilty of RICO. So if he isn't guilty of RICO, then there is no sex trafficking. So if there's no sex trafficking, there is no forced labor. None of the people that participated in the freak-offs worked for Combs's company. They didn't. They weren't staff. So none of these people that worked there was staff. So if all of the people that did the freak offs, because they've admitted that, Diddy didn't want them to know. So how is anyone that works on the staff responsible? Personal assistants might be paid, but they're independent contractors. His company might have paid them for independent contract work. They failed. The prosecution has failed. They have failed. They have failed. And I'm glad they fall and fail right on their face, because this case is ridiculous. They sent this letter to the government. They sent this letter to the judge. I'm staring at the letter right now. The letter they sent to the judge is right here in front of me as they drop in the charges. The government understands the court's desire for streamlined instructions. With that in mind, the government has suggested ways to streamline those instructions. Specifically, the government has removed instructions from the charge related to attempted kidnapping under both California and New York law, attempted arson under California law, and aiding and abetting sex trafficking. The government is no longer planning to proceed on these theories of liability, so instructions are no longer necessary. You see? They're not pursuing those charges because they have no case for those charges. That case was already going down. Right. This was a state case at best, a domestic situation. They're unhappy, disgruntled employees. These civil cases are being held in a federal court. They're on a stand, just grandstanding. Don Richards, she's in a civil case. Diddy gonna win that too? They're not getting a dime. They saw Cassie get some money and they thought, oh, I can get some money. Nah, sorry. Epstein been dead for years and they still talking about the Epstein case. They don't know that. You see, that's the plan. You see, that's their idea. They believe that they can now work on getting a conviction because now they have these other cooked up charges. You got these other souped up charges now that you can go ahead and try to push for. But they're going to fail too. Without Diddy, what would Cassie be? A no-hit artist. Ryan Leslie gave her only hit record, Me and You. Then she went with Diddy and couldn't make a goddamn song. And she's like, I want my album out. You didn't want album out. You were not a musician. You were not an artist. And now all these people are going broke. All these R&B singers are going broke, and that's Diddy's fault. No, it ain't. They want something for nothing. The only thing Diddy is guilty of well, they played dangerous game. Mm-hmm. No, because they're using this as this stuff has got to stop. All these women filing these lawsuits. Come on. What you thought? You was gonna be hot forever? You gotta have talent. Cassie never was a singer. Cassie was never a singer. She was just Ryan Leslie saw her in the club, took her there, and they just gonna make her a star. That's what they tried to do. Make her a star. Well, when they figure it out, then they'll know. They'll let it be known. Hit the like button up, because you know what they're trying to do. Hit the like button up. They're going to make it try to look like nobody's here, nobody's doing anything. They asked for this case to be dismissed. They wanted it acquitted. That's why there's no need. The prosecution has brought nothing to the forefront. Nothing. They didn't want to hear Judge Joe Brown talk about this case. They try to make him look senile and make him seem like he doesn't know what he's doing or knows what he's talking about, etc. I know what they talking about. They talking about character witnesses. Well, if you're thinking about character witnesses, then there's a lot of lies being told. I mean, but what you mean you going like? What is it that you think you gonna do? Really? Yep. Yeah. Well, what else you gonna do? What charges did they prove? You say he guilty. What's he guilty of, and what charge did they prove? No. There's nowhere to go. It's not clickbait. The prosecution has sent the letter to the judge. They've dropped 3 of the charges already. Diddy is Diddy and his team are asking for a dismissal of this whole case. Diddy is evil. Evil is not one of the charges, sir. I know. I've tried to be someone that is optimistic about the law and the government, and all I've seen is disparity. That's why I'm telling all y'all right now, subscribe to the Patreon, my Casino for Life Patreon. Make sure you guys all go over there. We have stuff for free for you. But we definitely have information that you're going to want to know and want to see. Especially with the Fat Joe situation. We have the PDF file to lawsuit that really got stuff cooking early on 2 years ago. We got that PDF file for you for free. You could pull it up, look at it, read the whole case. We already did a video breaking it down, but in case you want to look at the whole case of the lawsuit, you can. Yes, my Patreon is called Carcino for Life, just like this channel. Well, they dropped all the charges that was related to Kid Cudi. Um, the arson, kidnapping, aiding, sex trafficking, all of those charges removed. They're still trying to find a way to look into this forced labor to try to get a RICO, and they have nothing. They're searching so hard because the judge is looking like this is nothing here. Well, when you don't have anything, that's mm. Well, when you get to the case and you look at what's been going on and you start figuring it out, that the people involved are not all who we think they are, and for whatever the reasons may be. Oh yeah, the judge is a 2-year judge, basically. He's a novice in this situation, but he doesn't want it to really come down to him. He'd rather the jury do it and deliberate, but they want a dismissal of this case because there's no evidence here. And this is just all rhetoric that never went anywhere. They were supposed to land a plane, and this stuff was like basically all social media. And we just kept hearing about and watching Tupac have sex. And it was like, okay, not Tupac, but did he have sex? And people are just watching Did he have sex? Mm. No. No, at the end of the day, there's so many people that are out here trying to find ways to take down creators and things of that nature. Like the government has been hard trying to get YouTube to go after me because going for I haven't been going for the prosecution and just wanting to see Diddy thrown behind bars, because I haven't been with that notion and I've been on the other side. The prosecution has really cared and honed in on what I was saying because I was pointing out actual facts in their case as I've talked to legal people all throughout the case. And I'm quite sure you know it because they thought I was working for Diddy's team. Like, did they have these guys on YouTube? They went and cried to the judge about all of us. Remember they was hacking my live stream when I kept get the buffering and knocked off my own live stream, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Now we know what that's about. Oh man. No. No. That's why they Look at him. Yeah. That's the way I see it, bro. I think he was these charges were made to publicly humiliate Sean Puffy Combs. Well, it's so much craziness going on in the world that you don't know what's next. A lot of these people are fools out here and they just don't care. These people are nuts out here. No, man, if they cared anything about this, why would they give it to their most inept group? Okay, Comey isn't that seasoned. The person who was really trying this, the guy who was in charge of the case, they removed him and put Comey in charge. And they gave it to five white women, knowing these five white women wasn't the best of the best. They didn't care. Nobody credible wanted to look like a fool when this case go left. And it's gonna go left too. What they're hoping is to get Diddy to settle after they drop a lot of the charges, get him to plead guilty to some drug stuff or whatever so that he doesn't sue the city of New York. But this has got to stop. All these crazy civil cases for money, and there needs to be a penalty to these people that come to court lying, trying to get money out of people. That's got to stop. Watch, Cassie gonna have a movie about her. She gonna have a book out. She gonna be the victim of all victims. Knowing Cassie sat there and said, I'm always ready to freak out. Hell, there's your whole case right there. Mm-hmm. Well, now that the charges have been dropped, no, Diddy charges dropped. That's what I was hoping for. I want them to keep dropping charges. Yeah, teaser don't tell nobody what's really going on out here. Watch her ass try to spin it. And it was like, oh no, because one of the charges, it was based on California law, state law, not New York law. So that's why, it's a state case. It was a state case when they were bringing it in here. We were saying it was a state case. Like all of this stuff is a state case. They're making it into a federal case, and we don't hear a federal case with all of this state crap. So if you throw out all the state case, you got no federal case. Mm-hmm. Right. If Diddy win the case, they're gonna be like, well, everyone was confused. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't understand the charges. No, bro. They understood that you had nothing, you ain't bring nothing to the case. I understand that. Quite sure the jury understand it too. Well, if you get two predicated acts, right? If you get two predicated acts, you could get the RICO case. But you need two to stick. You don't have one. They're like, we only need two predicated acts for it to be that. What's the predicated act? Mm-hmm. Like they said, I don't know how in the world, but all of a sudden this phone device just came up and we found it in the house. And it's the time from when me and the female number one went to the thing. So they got to be so much stuff on the hard drive on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna send you a picture of it so you can see and understand like this could be a big breakthrough. Just because like we didn't have the phone and all of that, and this phone was just sitting there. And there's just data wise, has to be a lot of stuff on that phone. I didn't delete nothing out of the phone. I'm gonna send you a picture of it now. Now, Diddy had found a phone in his house that they just missed. And it was just sitting there and had a lot of stuff on there. They're trying to get a conviction by taking this route. They want to try to take all these major charges away so they can get some type of conviction on Diddy to admit to some form of guilt so they could say they won the case and the government is always right and they have their 90% conviction rate. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we'll see. That's what I always tell people. I said, we'll see. Well, when you've been doing something your whole life, you know, it's only right. Yeah, well, stick around. At the end, by the time this day is over, it's gonna be a lot of cooking before they get to the final closing arguments. Because closing arguments is gonna be huge for the prosecution. Exactly, more than the defense, because the defense didn't call any witnesses. This is all on the government. They put together such a horrible case, putting people coming with all this salacious tabloids and just sex. Oh, freak off, freak off, freak offs. Instead of focusing on the points, we're sitting here focused on relationship crap. It makes no sense. Oh yeah, on the Patreon, I'm going off on the government. So I'm just waiting till this case over. I'm gonna let them have it on the Patreon. Carcino for life Patreon. Yeah, they over here. They so thirsty about what I'm gonna say about the case. The case is over. All right, y'all rested. Well, look, y'all still going, right? Worry about your closing arguments, because your closing arguments better lead to something that gets you to forced labor. Because without forced labor, you don't have RICO. And good luck proving overtime is forced labor. I think every job in the world right now be like, you can't make me stay here. This overtime, this some bull. This is forced labor, baby. Can't make me stay here. It's some forced labor. Can't tell me it ain't. I saw the Diddy trial. Forced labor, baby. Yeah, I know, man. It is what it is at this point. 50 Cent gonna have a field day with this. He might. But blame this inept government prosecution. Blame Comey and her team. They dropped the ball. They made it where the defense didn't even need to call a witness. Like right now, they're coming in with the sabotage. And it's okay. You can come on in. Man, I'm already over 3,000 steps. I saw that thing. I got the stepping, man. I was walked around the whole neighborhood. I was like, yes. Because it's only right. It's justice. It's justice, B. Because you can't just start doing that to black folks, man. You've been doing it to us our entire lives. The court system's against us. Everything is against us. And you trying to weaponize the court systems to embarrass us because we don't do what you want us to do, or you get exposed for your racism. Absolutely. Let's see where they end up when it's all said and done. That's what I want to know. Where they gonna end up when it's said and done? Because I read that letter, and it was nothing but some white girl crying all over again. I'm just thinking they're gonna be misunderstood. They're not gonna understand. Well, understand this. If Diddy gets found not guilty, they gonna sue your ass. You gonna be on the unemployment line. So understand that. Diddy will sue New York, and he needs to. For Jonathan Majors, for all of them. For Sean Bell. No, I don't care about his behavior. That's his behavior. I don't hang out with Diddy. Like me and Diddy finna go out. Hey, Diddy, let's go. That freak off thing, man, call it up. Come on, Diddy, weird self. Being in a room. They're trying to put his bedroom antics on trial. Mm-hmm. Run, tell that. Mm. Mm. That's some good eating. Good breakfast. Get some good old OJ. Good old chicken dumplings. Hate these flying ants. Where the hell they come from? And who gave them wings? Feel good. Gotta get my strength up. Got my OJ and my Mickey mug. Then you'll see how they try to pivot out of this one. Well, it don't mean that Diddy's innocent. What it does mean is they just trying to get a conviction and they just focusing on the charges. They're gonna get him the conviction. See, don't mean that Diddy's innocent now. They just dropping those charges because the jury might be confused about all this. So they gonna make it easier for the jury. That's why they doing it, that's all. We know what they gonna say and do. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We know what they gonna say and do. They're liars. That's what they do. And these clowns that's been backing these damn liars and not telling you the truth about about what's going on in the trial by going off the transcripts, they just sticking to the narrative because it's making them money. While they come after us, they sitting over there pushing those guys to the top, knowing they lying. Mm-hmm. Well, you got to understand. Okay, then where's the RICO then? Tell me, where's the RICO? Remember, these clowns already tell you, they already proved this. They already proved that. And I was like, what are they talking about? How the hell if they prove that, then hell, the case is over. They haven't proved a damn thing. Mm-hmm. This prosecution has failed miserably. And this is a case of what not to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, like I said, we'll see when the chips come down. Dude, his personal bedroom, his personal bedroom time is not a crime. Nobody asked you to be in the room with Diddy. Do you want to be in there or something? He be coming out. I mean, what happened? With Diddy? We told you not to go in there. Why would you go in there? I don't know, man. I just thought you was going to, just dance. Thought I told you that he won't stop. I thought I told you that he won't stop. Oh yeah. I told you they're gonna try to play let's make a deal. We'll see it go down. Why are they prosecuting an innocent man? Good question. Now you're asking the right questions. Why are they prosecuting an innocent man? An innocent black man? I'm quite sure Jonathan Majors will ask you the very same question. Why the hell were they prosecuting me? I called the police so they could come help her. So when outside billionaire forces can influence the federal government of the United States or, well, New York to go and raid and do a whole ridiculous investigation, make up all these charges, waste all this man hours in two different states doing raids, making it like this man was a big criminal mastermind, got a whole criminal empire, like he's making money off of criminal activities. You rated him like he was Pablo Escobar. It's ridiculous. So that just basically just shows you a darker, deeper criminal link. The DOGO Corporation, you know they all behind it. Diddy called them racist and they got mad. He called us a racist in public. How dare he humiliate us? No one's supposed to know we're racist. We'll show that uppity guy. We'll strip him of all his companies and cut him out of the liquor business forever. It's not enough. I want him humiliated like we did in court. That's right. We'll humiliate him in court. Now the whole world gets to see you humiliated. Oh, they'll find it. They'll keep knocking it down until they find something to convict him on. I swear, if Diddy get found guilty of any of this crap, first of all, the case should be dismissed. But if they found him guilty of any of this crap, I mean any of it, I'm gonna be upset. There's no, if they say we found one charge of the RICO, I'm gonna be upset at that because there's nothing in that RICO. Nothing. There's nothing that leads to RICO at all. And if you don't get the RICO, you don't get trafficking, you don't get the case. That's the whole case. There is no forced labor, so that's gone. All of these, it's a domino effect. All these charges are hinging on that period. So you need that trafficking and you need forced labor. If you can't prove any of those, buddy boy, dig a bag. You're fucked. Yep. Now it's time for Tyler Perry to get humiliated. You should have known it was coming. All of his weirdo behaviors all coming to the light. Funny, no one is surprised it's a dude. Be like, another dude. It's a lot of dudes, man. Mm-hmm. Diddy coming home. He should have been home. Should have never been arrested. This is nonsense. So I just can't wait when they try to say Diddy gonna be gone for all these years. He cooked all this nonsense. I want every last one of these bums to start talking. I want to hear what they mouth finna say now. Watch the excuses, cause they didn't jumped on the Tony Busby boat. They didn't. They've been sinking on that one with Jay-Z. They done sunk on a whole nother boat. Still talking about Tony Busby got him now. Don't he got him right where he want him? Be like, dog, it's over. The charges are dropped to Casey. And Diddy on that. That whole thing is cooked. No, we got him. Tony Busby. Yep. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna see what the clowns got to say. I bet you they say exactly what I said. Spin cycle. Anyway, I'm out. New York. Prosecution. Comey. And the rest of the 4 other white women. How's it hanging?